Good morning, friends. Today is Good Friday. We call it good because of what Jesus did for us on this day, that he died for our sins at Calvary. We were talking this week about forgiveness, and Jesus' first word spoken from the cross is, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they do." It was often the practice of 16th century painters like Michelangelo and Raphael and Leonardo da Vinci to paint the faces of their contemporaries into their great masterpieces. And the story is told of da Vinci that when he was painting the Last Supper, the first picture, the first portrait he painted was the face of Judas. And the reason he painted that first was that he had an enemy, and it was easy for him to pour his artistic talent into portraying his enemy as a Judas. He went on and completed the other paintings, and then he had reserved for the last figure in his painting of the Last Supper, that of the face of Jesus Christ himself. But he found nothing seemed to work. He couldn't paint the face of Jesus. And finally he came to the conclusion that the reason that he couldn't paint the face of Jesus was because he had such ill feelings toward this other person, this other painter whom he had painted into the face of Judas. So he took out a brush and painted out the face of his enemy. And he found as soon as he did, he had the freedom to paint the face of Christ. Art historians, I guess, can't establish whether or not that was actually an event that happened. It's a story that may be apocryphal in nature, but it nevertheless tells us in a very clear way a moral and a spiritual truth that you cannot at the same time be painting in the face of your enemy into your life and at the same time paint the face of Jesus on your heart. That the call to forgiveness is one in which we paint the face of Christ and release our enemy from our expectations, release the person who has done us wrong from what they have done wrong to us. On the cross, Jesus does not cup his fists together and say, "I'll get even with you for doing this." Instead, he opens his hands to receive the nail, and in so doing sets an example before us that retaliation is not part of our call to wholeness, to spiritual health and vitality, but it is instead a call to forgiveness. I invite you to join us this Good Friday at noon for a special Good Friday noon service, and then a different Good Friday service at 7 o'clock at Central Assembly. I'm going to be giving a sermon from the Gospels, The Greatest Life Ever Lived. Then on Easter Sunday morning, we invite you to join us at our 10:30 service and our evening service at 6 o'clock with special guest Jennifer Rothschild. And if you can't join us at Central Assembly, be sure to be in services in your own church. If you don't have a church home of your own, there are many wonderful Assemblies of God congregations in Springfield and throughout the greater Ozarks region. We invite you to be present in one of those. God bless you.